are back. Yeah, I remember that tour. We killed that tour. We are back. It is Roll Out Live with Speedy and Friends. I be
Speedy.
up in this.
Bitch.
You gotta get some more bass in your voice.
Can we change the word?
Nope, not gonna change it. In the house we got.
Shelly Rio.
Behind the glass curtain we got.
Big Don right here.
Big D.
My fault.
Big D.
And all at the table, still young as hell. He was young when I first met him. He's still even younger now. I don't know how the fuck that happened. In the building we got
Matt Cook, what's up? How y'all doing?
Matt in the building. And we were telling stories. God damn, man. So we used to have these basketball tournaments at Fox House. And so we're on tour. We're doing he's doing stand up when 9/11 happens. So we're doing stand up.
Wait, Pops. Before you get into that story, I gotta get a backstory. How actually the first time I met Matt.
Okay.
So this is how long I've known Matt. The first time I ever played basketball, you took me to the YMCA, playing the basketball league at the YMCA.
Yeah.
On my team, it's me, Matt Cook, Jordan Farmar, and Julian, who played the kid in Men's Society.
Had handles.
I've
been knowing him since he was on. I want to say the Tonight Show.
Out all night. I think that was what it was called.
But no, but he got on the Tonight Show. He got on one of those shows, and they showed his handles.
Yeah,
like they did with Tiger Woods when he was little. Same thing.
He was a phenomenon.
Man.
Yeah, he was when he was.
He was and one before and one.
Yeah, he was a monster when he was a kid. Yeah, he was cold.
Man,
shouts out to him. I think he's doing fashion now, man.
Yeah. He's working with like champions, doing a couple of nice things.
Yeah, big shout out, man.
Stuff.
So Matt started coming up to the big house. Well, to the house in Encino.
The big house.
It was the big house before the big house in Westlake.
Before the big house. And so Matt would come. We're like, nigga, who the 13-year-old? Not knowing he was really 13.
That's hilarious.
He just tall. Hey, man.
Hey, speaking of that, tell him about all the people you actually went to Taft High School with. This is crazy.
You went to Taft High School?
Yeah.
This is crazy how many people went there
like,
at the time.
It was like a crazy synergy at this high school, man. I mean, I look up now and I look back at it, and at the time, it just seemed innocent. We just seemed like some young kids, and it was crazy. Like, at the time, you could feel that it was something different in the air, and we had this bravado about everyone and everywhere we went. I mean, every day was like a fashion show, and it was like if you didn't go to Taft, you knew everything that was going on at Taft. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it was like going around the world. And it was just like before Instagram and social media popping. So it was crazy. So like the people that I went was Ice Cube's son, which is Daryl Taylor, O'Shea Jackson, who's now a huge movie star, Karuchi Tran, who's now a huge TV star,
shout out to Karuchi.
won Emmys and Grammys. The guy that created Rude Clothing went to Taft. What's her name?
Justin was there.
Jordan Farmar went to Taft, who ended up playing for the Lakers.
2 rings.
Winning 2 championships with the Lakers, being at the national, All-American game for McDonald's All-American.
I think he still has the highest recorded vertical
he has the
combine still.
Yeah, he has the highest recorded vertical in the draft at like 48 inches. Went to national championship with UCLA, won a city and state championship as a high school player. That school ended up becoming.
Were you on that team?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We broke a 48-0 record. So the last person to win before us was Gail Goodrich in 1960. Damn. So like everyone counted us out. We beat every city team. We were like a phenomenon. We ended up being like ranked top 5 in the country. After that, we produced a few other NBA players and won city championships. Then in football, my best friend was Steve Smith, who also won 3 college national championships with USC.
And he went to Taft?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out
he
to
was
Steve.
the number 1 wide receiver in the country.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we were all there at the same time. And then also he won NFL championship and was like the number 1 receiver in the NFL for a few years with the Giants.
Got some nice checks.
Probably the
That's
best.
good to know, though.
Probably the best guard rebounder I've ever seen.
Yeah.
No, because
by far.
He was crazy.
Like he had like 25 rebounds one game and like 22 points.
Crazy.
He was 4-time All-City. And he was All-American in track.
Now, what year is this? This is
2004. Giving away my age.
2004.
Man.
That's when my son was born.
Giving away my age.
But it's funny
man.
because my son that was born in 2004 goes to El Camino with his son, but my son plays football. And Taft is now their football team sucks.
I'm saying it was like this crazy,
It
and then
does.
like Chelsea, the show Ridiculousness. I'm messing up her name right now.
She was supposed to. She was booked the other day to come on the show.
Yeah, she's supposed to do the show.
I know she's gone.
West Coast.
West
Chanel
Coast.
West Coast.
Chanel.
So yeah,
Ooh,
because I'm thinking about that name, and I know
Chanel
her
West
actual
Coast.
name. I know her actual name because she's my friend. But like, yeah, she was like a little 9th grader, and she ended up becoming Chanel West Coast. Another one of my friends, Chris Jordan, is now the top manager for YG. Everyone, so
Shit.
like everybody.
Malcolm.
Malcolm Smith,
Football
which
player.
is Steve's brother,
Yeah.
ended up winning
Shout out to my
the
dog.
MVP of the Super Bowl
sure
and
did.
winning a Super Bowl ring
With
with the Seahawks.
Seattle. Yeah.
So I mean, the
Got a
list
big
goes
check
on and
after
on. I might be forgetting a ton of.
Yeah, I
other
think
people.
Monty's doing. I think he's doing TV production now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yes. And
So what are you doing these days now? Matt?
I mean, I transitioned from a lot of different things. It was from, becoming this All-American basketball player to then having this opportunity, walking around. It came in a point in my life where I had nowhere to live, and not that many people know that about me, but I came from really humble beginnings. I had a mom that worked 3 jobs. The guy that you know as my dad took me in because my dad had left me.
Shout out to Uncle Mike.
Yeah, so Mike Law, big up to him. Great person.
Been knowing Mike Law, man. Mike, one of the cool. We were talking about cool guys. One of the coolest
That's
people
his
you
nickname,
ever
Cool.
could meet.
Everyone
is
calls him
Mike
Cool.
Law.
Yeah.
And know everything about basketball.
Yeah, so like
he came and he said, "Man, I'm gonna come see Brooklyn when it's time." I said, "Okay, he gonna be waiting on."
I mean, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't know you guys. I wouldn't have the
Yeah.
relationship I have with you and Fox. And I don't know if my life would have been this life.
Yeah.
He's the first person to bring me to the YMCA, as Nick had brought up, where I
Yeah.
met Julian Jordan, who ended up being my lifetime best friends.
Yeah.
I didn't have a father. He stepped in there for me and made sure I had some type of male guidance and stuff like that. So so like it was just this chance meeting where I was playing basketball. I didn't have anywhere to live. Jordan was like my best friend. He ended up being drafted to the Lakers and was like, just come stay with me. So I was like, all right. Then I'm walking around the Laker games, and then this guy was like, hey, I think you'd be perfect for my independent film. So I was like, all right, like I'll give it a look or whatever. And I didn't really want to act.
Okay.
At that time, it was kind of like frowned upon, and everyone was coming up to me to model and do all these things. But I was a hooper, and I was a real hardcore hooper. You know what I mean? it was like, I'm going to the NBA. No questions
I got other
asked.
dreams, homie.
Yeah, don't talk to me. Like, miss me with that silly stuff, man. I'm hardcore. I'm street. Like, I'm hanging out with like the rapper Game. Like, I'm a big tough guy and all this stuff, and just coming from that environment. But so I ended up doing a movie. 2 days into it, I'm like, yo, I'm going to be a movie star.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Then I ended up signing in modeling. And
you signed to Wilhelmina, right?
Yeah. Well, I signed to Ford at that time.
Oh,
Ford. I had Ford come up to me, scout me. I had Wilhelmina.
For us who don't know about Ford.
That's like an amazing agency.
Yeah.
Ford and Wilhelmina are the top 2 modeling agencies in the world.
Especially at that time.
Right.
Ford, Wilhelmina, Next, LA Models.
Yeah.
They were by far number one.
So you doing runway?
I was doing everything.
Wait, but I have a question because I know that you were the first male to appear in Maybelline commercial.
Yeah.
So what now when I hear Maybelline, I'm like makeup. So I'm like,
maybe
wait,
it's
what was he-
Maybelline.
So I'm like, wait, I don't get it. I'm confused.
Well, so like what happened was it was crazy. Like at that time I was like kind of blowing up. I was shooting like GQ magazine. I was shooting like tons of different campaigns for Nordstrom, all these different brands and billboards and stuff. And then all of a sudden, like I booked a bunch of commercials, and then they didn't really like let me know that it was going to be Maybelline.
Right.
To be honest, like I almost messed myself up because I had a girlfriend at that time that I was like madly in love with, and she was like, "Babe," she's always loved for me to pick her up from the airport. She was modeling too. I'm just
He
keep
rolls
it a
his
buck.
eyes. He's like,
I'm just gonna keep it a buck. Like, so she was like, "Yo, like pick me up. Like I want you to be there all the time, right?" So I literally had this casting at like 6:00, and it didn't say for what brand or anything.
Right.
And it was like, just go. So they were like, wear basketball shorts. So I'm like, what? So I go, and I swear to God, they had shot us like in a random back alley, right? That was like, they were like, okay, what we're gonna have you do that? Like me and like 3 other like really handsome like model looking dudes like lined up, right? And they were like, you're gonna go down there, right? This guy, he's like a super cool white dude, right? He's like, listen here, bro. This is what you're gonna do. You're gonna go down there.
Yeah.
You're gonna run as fast as you can, and you're gonna do your Jordan pose. He says it just like that, right?
The Jordan
The
pose.
Jumpman.
Yeah, okay, Jumpman.
So
Jumpman.
he's like, you got that? I'm like, yeah, all right, cool, right? So I'm like, the heck is this stupid stuff? Like, I hate going to these dumb castings, because you've been in the industry.
Yeah.
You go to so many
I've had
dumb
to
things.
do modeling shit.
But you go to dumb things and you're like, yo, like, man,
Right.
miss me
The
with
fuck,
the silly
man?
stuff. Like, I'm trying to really work. I'm trying to, be a legend. I'm trying to do all these things. Like, man, I'm thinking I'm popping. So, mind you, I go down there, right? I run full speed. My man is shooting me from like 8 stories up.
Oh, wow.
No lie, no cap, right? So I'm like, man, this fool can't even see me probably. I look like an ant. Mind you, it's like 7 p.m. at night. So
And it's
So
dark.
so
right.
it's dark,
Yeah.
exactly, right? So I run with an imaginary basketball.
Yeah.
Take off with the Jordan pose. Next day, I get called. They're like, hey, Matt, you booked it. We're sending the call sheet. Next thing I know, it's Maybelline. And the crazy thing was, like, it was like 3 of the top, like, supermodels, female
Hell
supermodels in
yeah.
the world. So it was like my friend Jordan Dunn, Emily Dionato, and another girl, Martha Hurst or Martha Hunt or something like that. So these girls were like, my friend Jordan Dunn ended up being like winning top. She's a black girl too, love her.
Whoa, go girl.
So that's why I gotta like shout that out because she ended
Yeah.
up winning the Model of the Year award.
Oh,
So
good.
not only was she doing like Maybelline, the face of Maybelline, and I wanted to shout her out because I feel like as black people we always gotta like shout out when people are really doing
course.
things and people don't really know a lot of people like that. So she ended up being the female model of the world. She was like, she won the award. She did Maybelline, Sports Illustrated, Victoria's Secret, all in the
Oh, wow.
same year.
That's amazing.
Damn.
Yeah.
So you weren't wearing makeup, obviously.
Nah, so like basically
Okay.
it was like
You was holding the girl.
it was a mascara commercial, right?
Okay.
You do have nice eyelashes, though. I've been peeping your
fuck?
eyelashes. No, because I'm like, damn, how are his eyelashes
get
so
that a
long?
lot. Thank you,
Like, that's
thank
all
you.
I've been thinking this whole segment.
I think that's I'll be trying to use them too. Like, hey, what's up?
You sound
How
like
you
my
doing?
son.
I'll be in the shower. I know I'm at my best. If shit's wet. Like, yo, what's up? How you doing?
All right, let me do my
Wow.
jump, man. Hold on.
TMI.
Batting your eyelashes.
But yeah, so like basically, which the irony is, it was a mascara commercial. So basically, what was happening was that they wanted like a really like big male model to be in there and be playing basketball. So it actually had me and these other guys that ended up modeling like Givenchy and all these other brands and stuff, and some big guys, and there was just like a connection, and with like the girls are like flirting with me, and they're like walking around in like New York, and they're like walking through like the playgrounds. You can see me through the fence, and like she's like winking at me. And she throws her mascara on to try to get my attention.
Okay.
And I'm, like,
Now it all
smiling.
makes sense.
But at the end though, the crazy thing is the dope thing was it ended with me, and it was like maybe it's Maybelline, and then you just see me smiling at the girl like, yeah, like what's up,
I
what's
got
up, shorty.
that.
But the crazy thing about that commercial was that really like changed my life a lot because with Maybelline, they're gonna pump a lot of dollars into stuff, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And I had a really recognizable face. Like a lot of people knew me from like the way we grew up and everything like that. But that commercial played every day through the NBA Finals and everything.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
So
shit.
the NBA Finals gets like 30 million
Yeah.
viewers.
Yeah. As
So-
soon as you went out, that's him.
Yeah, and
Maybelline.
Right.
and it was just 3 of these top supermodels at this time, and then just me. You know what I mean? And it was like us going back and forth, and it ended with maybe it's Maybelline and Matt.
That's funny.
So it's cool.
For
Now,
you.
are you still doing runways and
No.
What are you doing now?
So during that time, like I was saying, there was a lot of stuff happening for me, and I feel like my career was taking a huge jump. So I ended up booking like 6 commercials in a matter of 3 months. Anybody that works in commercials and everything, they know that's like a very rare thing.
Very rare.
That,
yeah.
like,
You
people
get
go
one, you happy.
very happy, you know what I
Man.
mean? So there was like a crazy synergy that I had going on in my life, and I think I was very balanced, and so things were going very well. So I booked like 6 commercials. I booked like the most modeling jobs I ever booked, a bunch of campaigns. I was shooting GQ. The president of GQ, which is Jim Moore, he just put me in there randomly. Like I was working for another company, and I was like, I saw GQ magazine, and I was actually the first person that GQ was ever following on Instagram.
Oh shit.
That was like black, to be
Damn.
honest. They don't follow me anymore. So I'm a little mad and salty. But before Pharrell, before any big
Yeah.
artists, like they like loved my style and loved my vibe. And so I was like, man, I want to shoot GQ. So I saw this GQ magazine. I remember, I'll never forget, Will Ferrell was on the cover of it. And I put it next to my face and I took a selfie and I said, I'm shooting for Men's Warehouse today. Next, I want to shoot GQ. The cool thing about that, and that's why I always love this guy, Jim Moore, my agent calls me 20 minutes later, because I took it down and thought maybe that was a little too forward.
Yeah.
You know, maybe that was a little abrupt and abrasive. I took that down, and then my agent goes, "Hey, what are you doing? Like, why'd you take that picture down? And what you just post?" I'm like, "Oh, nothing. Don't worry. I took it down. I thought I was gonna get in trouble."
Yeah.
Because the president of Wilhelmina called me, and he says, "Hey, what did you do?" I said, I want to shoot GQ. He said, "Well, you're coming home right now. I was supposed to shoot this other brand for 3 days." GQ ended up putting me in the magazine the next day.
Damn.
And they said, "We think that you're going to be the next biggest star of your generation." And we just wanted, we had a shoot that was coming on in California anyway, and we wanted, the president wanted to meet you, and he wanted to incorporate you in the GQ family. So
Damn.
they literally just
Just
put me
from
in it.
that, what you had
Because I said I wanted to be in it, and they
Okay.
just put me in it the next minute. I never had heard of anyone having that type of reaction. So then all that was happening. Then I ended up being with Alan Payne, my uncle, that you know very well.
Me and Al, go back.
Y'all almost got in a fight.
At the
Gotta
gym.
say that.
And I said, Al, no, Speed, no. All right, man. I said, all right, man.
So for
And
those
then we
people,
was cool after that.
so tell people who Alan Payne is so that they don't know.
That's G Money. For those who don't know, New Jack City, G Money. Is that what this shit is about? Some fucking skeezer?
So yeah, so
okay.
my uncle was an actor. He's really cool with Jamie as well. So my uncle did a show with Tyler Perry called House of Pain.
Yes.
So then
Yeah.
Tyler,
Nice run.
They did I think they had
5 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, like 12 years. Like they had did the most.
Oh, House of Pain. Yes, yes.
So they had the most episodes for like a TV show that's like not on like
Network.
Mainstream.
like not from like 1 through 13. So like from like TBS, TNT, like stuff. So they did like 256 episodes. So him and Tyler are very close.
Shit.
And he
Yes,
would be
yes,
like
yeah.
always talking about, oh, my nephew's an actor. You know, he's in acting class because I was always in acting class. And he was like, he's blowing up as a model. So he showed Tyler my picture, and Tyler said, I want to meet him one day. So eventually, I'm going to a premiere for this movie called The First Wives Club or something like that.
Okay.
And it was with Zalea Neo and a bunch of other actresses and stuff like that. And so I'm at the premiere. Tyler meets me, and he's like, whoa. So he whispers something in my uncle's ear, like, and then my uncle, I go, what did he say? And he says, I'm going to be calling you about your nephew. So 2 days later, my uncle gets a text. We're sitting at his house. I'm living at my mom's house still at this time. And he goes, hey, Tyler just was asking questions about you, and he wants to send over some sides. He's got an audition for you tomorrow. So I'm like, okay. He's like, take it home, like, you know, be ready. So I go do that. And then next thing you know, I am auditioning for my character, which is, at the time it was Quan on the TV show If 11 You Was Wrong. And it was just a pilot. So they had me audition for like 3 different characters. So I do it, whatever. And I'm thinking, like, no big deal. And they did like a table read same day. And actually, the person that actually ended up, like, the person that, I ended up playing this character named Joey.
Okay.
But the person that was casted as Joey originally was Quincy Brown,
I know that name.
Diddy's son.
Yes.
I'll be short son.
Yeah.
So Quincy, I remember I was like friends with Quincy. So I was supposed to play this like other character that was like side by side. And I was like, hey, like, yo, man, this would be cool. Like, I know you're from Atlanta. Like, I hope we get it. And I'm excited. I'm hoping that he gets the character Joey that I ended up playing that's like in 20 episodes. And my character was going to be in 10, right? So I'm like, yo, like, this would be so fun. I'm just excited. So they do the table read, and I'm not even in it,
Okay.
right? And I just had gotten this girl's number that I knew. So I'm like, hey, how'd the table read go? Blah, 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 right? So then, like, something happens 2 or 3 days later, go by. And, like, next thing I know, I get a call. And they're like, hey, this is so-and-so from Tyler Perry Studios. And then they were like, is this Matt Cook? I go, yeah. They were like, oh, well, who's your agent and manager? At that time, I had no agent and manager. So
Me.
I'm like, nobody. Like, they were like, okay, click. So I'm like, okay, no big deal. So then 3 minutes later, they're like, well, we want to offer you the role of Quan. Do you want to take it? So I'm like, yeah. I'm like, how much? I'm not gonna lie. I said, how much you gonna pay? How much do I get per episode? Because I was making a lot of money as a model at that time. I was becoming like a supermodel.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm making like $5,000 a day rate, right? I'm thinking I'm balling. So, but I'm like, yo, how much you gonna pay? So they were like, we'll pay you this amount. And I'm like, well, that's kind of low, Like, and they were like, well, you haven't booked anything yet, so you can't like set a quota, Matt.
But that was good. You said that though. That was dope.
Yeah. So I was like, well, I'm not gonna lie, I got an extra $1,000 off of it.
Oh,
Not
okay.
much, but it adds up. If it's like 10, 20 episodes, extra $10,000, $20,000. So then, long story short, they go, okay, cool. We're going to send over the info. So this is, and I like to share this story because for anyone that's listening, I think it's very important. So I end up going to another reading, right? And we're trying to cast the last person.
For the sitcom?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they go, hey, Matt, we need you to read this part. I know this is not your character, but we need this for continuity. So I go, okay, cool. And they were like, don't worry about it. Just need you to read it. I was so effing appreciated. I was so appreciative of the opportunity. I had so much gratitude. I was so thankful. I'd been like going to different auditions for years. And anyone that asks knows how it is. You know, you audition.
Yeah.
You're so close. You think you do the greatest job. I remember being in rooms with people and they would be crying after they would hear my story. Like literally, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna book this for sure. I remember being
Thank
so
you, Matt.
broke.
See you tomorrow, maybe.
Yeah, I remember like days, like I lost my voice for 6 months. I was like, oh, what am I doing? I don't even know how I'm gonna act. Like weird stuff was happening to me, freak accidents. I'm thinking I'm about to die before I become a movie star. All this stuff.
That's not like me.
I swear to God. So like, I was so thankful. I just want to just try to illustrate how thankful I was. You know what I mean? So when this opportunity came and they were like, yo, like read this part, I had memorized the entire sides of 5 pages, meaning my character, the opposite character. Everybody in 5 minutes. Right?
Oh, shit.
So then we go in there to start doing it, and then there's a break in the middle of a scene. It's me and 2 people. Me and a person. It's a 2-person scene. And they're looking at us, and I go, hey, why are you looking? It's not our fault. Now, mind you, it's Tyler Perry, Kim something is like the main casting director, another person, the producers, right? Everyone's there. It's just the producers and director. So I'm like, I've always been an outspoken person. I'm like, what are you looking at us for? It's not our fault. There's a 3rd person in the scene, and this is the line. So everyone's taken aback, like, did you memorize the whole thing? I said, yeah, of course. I said, you guys gave me one opportunity. I said, I'm about to show you that I'm going to be the best ever. I'm gonna take this opportunity and do everything I can.
You can make her cry.
I want to show
Make
you
me
how
cry?
appreciative I am.
That guy was gonna make me cry for sure.
So then the funny thing is, they're like, all right, cool. So we get through the scene. They're like, go outside, wait. They were so impressed by what I did that they switched my character from the one that was Quan, that was 10 episodes, to the character Joey. That was 20 episodes per thing.
20.
And then that character Quan got killed off first season.
Oh, shit.
I ended up doing 4 seasons. So
you guys already shot?
No, we were about to shoot. But
about to shoot. Okay.
I'm just saying now, looking back, look at how much that changed my life.
Yeah.
You know? So I just wanted to share that.
And did you do the shooting in ATL? At that studio?
Yeah,
I heard it's nice.
But not the new one.
Not the new one. Okay.
This was the second studio he built.
Yeah, I heard it's nice. I get out there. I want to go out there to do Uptown Comedy Club, and I was going to go by, or at least see if I heard it's real locked up.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I got his number, so just let me know, and I can
Done
text
deal,
over.
Matt.
So you good. But
MC in the building.
So so now fast forward, you're like, what's going on? So another cool thing. Can I share one more?
No,
cool thing?
please go right ahead.
Okay, so another cool thing that I want to share is my first ever scene was in front of Oprah and Tyler Perry.
Oh, wow.
That I ever shot. Oprah was there on
I
set.
met Oprah. It's incredible.
Dude, it's funny.
Did she
funny
give you a car?
story about it.
Yeah, I wish. I told the story a long time ago. So Fox was doing something in Miami, or she was doing something in Miami, but she wanted him to do her book, the magazine. So she was going to come down and interview him. So we're in Miami, and then she shows up. So she has we're in this dope ass hotel, and get there. And the energy around her, just the energy alone. Now, she is just, hey, how's everybody doing?
Yeah,
Give
she
me a
act like
hug.
it's no big deal.
Yeah, but I'm sitting there and I'm calling my mom. I was like, Mom, Oprah's
I called my mom too.
And she-
Oprah's the look.
my mother said, put her on the phone. I will not.
Mom is the
Put her on
first
the
call after Oprah. I don't
Yes.
care. No matter
Yes.
what. I was like, Mom, I couldn't wait to call my mom. I was like, yo, I gotta tell Mom I met Oprah.
I called my mother. She said, put her on the phone. I said, Oprah, Mom. She said, give me the phone. And she talked to my mom on the phone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And
nice.
she was just mad cool. She was just so fucking cool. If you get a chance, you would think it's like, oh, can I say hi or whatever, you're doing that. And she's like, hey, come on over here, baby. Whatever it is.
shocking.
Yeah,
Like
she's mad
so
cool.
regular
Yeah.
that you're like, nah.
But her conversation, though, so her and Fox are talking, and it's one of the magazines when she interviewed Fox. And so they're talking about, he said, yeah, I got to fly. And she said, oh, yes, right, you do fly commercial. because she doesn't fly commercial. And so we was all like, oh, because she has her own plane.
Boss man.
I think she has
clearly.
two. She has 2 planes.
Humble brag.
Yes. And she's like, oh, yeah, I haven't flown commercial in so long, Jamie. Tell me about it. And we were, but she was joking, but we were dying laughing that she could joke like that. So she's, if you get a chance to, maybe you won't, but hopefully you do. Like, I still on my bucket list to meet is Barack Obama.
I met Brock. I met him 3 times actually.
Damn. See,
I have a
ain't met
picture
him.
on my Instagram with him.
God.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, I don't even like the shit called bucket list, but if it's such thing, I got to get me a picture with Barack at some point in my life. Because we're the same age. Me and Barack the same age.
You know you could airbrush one together if you don't get to meet him. You know you could do that. I know someone that could do that for you.
I don't want to do that.
Or you could do that too.
The funny thing about him,
Barack.
he's such a big basketball fan.
Yeah.
He got the lefty jumper.
Yeah.
So, like, I met him when the Lakers won the championship and a few other times while he was campaigning, and all he wants to do is talk basketball. He's a basketball junkie.
Oh, man. That left hand.
But anyways, so back to what's going on now.
Talk to me.
So then, like, that was a cool run, right? And I was very appreciative of everything. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to be up front and forward. I was like, I want to be a billionaire. I want to be a multi-billionaire, you know? And I looked at, like, Tyler Perry, and I was like, I'm going to just be completely transparent. I said, man, okay. Because the funny thing was I forgot that when you act, you get residual checks.
Oh, yeah.
So it was one day.
Checking the mail is what we call it.
It was one day I was broke, right?
Checking the mail came.
Dead broke. Didn't know how I was going to pay rent. And I knew I was about to go film in, like, 2 months. And I'm like, man, what am I going to do? Like, how am I going to pay my rent?
Yeah.
Then, because it was my first job, so I never got a residual yet. You know what I'm saying? So then, boy, I opened the mail. I swear to God, it was a check for like $50,000. I was like, it was like the biggest like lump sum I ever got, like on just one sum. And I was like, oh. So the point of the story is this. I was like, okay, I'm looking at my life and I'm like, as an actor, you get paid once for filming something and then you get paid again for residual, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. But then I looked at Tyler's life and I was like, he's the producer, he's the director,
writer,
he's the screenwriter,
yeah.
He owns the network, and he acts in it. So I'm like 5 times. Then I was like, you get residuals for all that.
Yep.
Times 2.
Times
so
2.
I was like 10 times. So I was like, wow, this guy is making so much money at such an exponential rate because he's making 10x on everything he does. So then I go, well, Matt, what do you have a level of expertise and mastery in? I'm like, I've been acting for 10 years. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, is this guy better than you? I was like, you don't know that yet, right? Yeah. But I said, no, this guy's very disciplined, right?
You got to drive.
Yeah, so I said, Matt, you're creative enough. I said, you're disciplined enough. And I said, you're intelligent enough to start making your own projects. You know what I mean? So I said, I looked up all the biggest actors that were had amassed the most amount of wealth. Guys like Stallone, guys like
Ben
Affleck,
owns all his
guys
stuff.
like Arnold Schwarzenegger, and they were negotiating, Keanu Reeves and Tom Cruise, Oprah. These people were negotiating for percentage of gross. So they would get paid, and I mean, you guys call it back-end points.
Yes.
But like they would get paid, $20-30 million for the film, and then get like 15 points on the back end or 17% of gross.
Yeah.
So when the movie does, let's say to keep numbers smooth, like $100 million, and you're at 20% of gross, well, that's another $20 million.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was like, all right, well, I know what I'm gonna do. I was like, I'm about to write my own film. I was like, I'm gonna star in it, and I'm gonna produce it. And I'm like, I'm gonna ask for no money, and I'm gonna ask for 50% of the gross.
Bam.
Because I'm like, you didn't have to pay for a writer.
Yeah.
I'm getting all the capital, so it's in my hands, and you don't have to pay for another person starring it. So now, that was last year, 2018, September 22nd. I sat down there and did
day
that.
after my birthday.
That's nice, Virgo, right?
Yes.
My mom's a Virgo. Great
Bam.
people.
Love her.
So then I came up with the concept. I started writing it out. January 22nd, I finished it. Looked up how to get everything registered, trademark with the Library of Congress, registered with the Writers Guild Association, the WGA, and everything like that. And I wrote my first film called Jesus Walks. It's about a 125-page script. It's a drama redemption story based on 97% true events. And
Jesus Walks.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, the name is powerful, right?
Love it.
Yeah. So
you don't get all them gospel people to show up.
Well,
They just want to see.
And it's cool. It's cool because like I was telling Don, your son Nick, before I walked in that I always felt like I was like destined for some greatness, right? And just like from the environment and everything, like, you look at my high school picture, it's my best friend Steve on one side and Jordan on the other, and I'm in the middle.
Damn.
And they won national championships in football and basketball, and the other one's national championships in basketball, and they've already had that happen. And sports is more of a young man's game. I'm an actor, as well, with entertainment. It's more of an older man's game.
Yeah, as you're going along, yeah.
Yeah, so like your life can progress. I mean, guys like Kevin Hart, like he's been our friend for years. Kevin would walk in the gym. It was like nobody was talking to him. And he ended up being one of the biggest stars ever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Selling
Shout out to Kevin
stadiums. I love Kevin. That's my guy for life.
Come do the show, bro, when you get better.
Got so much love for Kev. So, like, always believed in me. Always showed me love.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Remember my friend Mia that came with the big booty that y'all were like, ooh, she's hot. She's from Jersey.
I never said that.
Not you, but like Maestro and them. No, her cousin is actually married to Kevin Hart. I forgot to tell you that when she was here. Sorry.
All right.
It just reminded me.
Yeah, that clicked. That was,
I have ADD.
thank you. Thank you, Shelly.
All right, back to you.
But
So you have this script that you're going to get done, or is it the script is done?
the script has been done.
So now it's just moving into starting to shoot and cast and do everything.
Yeah, so now we're in the process of doing table reads. And the funny thing is, what I was going to tell you is how I actually got Tyler's numbers. I hadn't seen Tyler in 3 years. This is how funny and how crazy God works. The day I'm going to print out the 10 copies for a table read, he's randomly going to get a milkshake
Hilarious.
at Shake Shack. The print shop is right there.
Yeah.
I'm walking with my box
Yeah.
of the 10 copies of the script. And I'm like, yo, what's up? And he's like, oh, hey, how are you doing? And I'm like, great. I hadn't seen him in 3 years. I'm like, he's like, what are you up to? I'm like, actually, I have my script from my movie. This is 10 copies for the table read. And I said, you're the person that inspired me to do this and start creating my own stuff. And he said, yeah. He's like, the power is in ownership. And he was like, I'm so proud of you. He was like, you can submit it to us. And I was like, no, I think I'm fine. I'm just going to raise my own money. But I was like, I might want to use the studios to go shoot at. And he was like, yeah, take my number. Let me know if you need anything. And then he asked every step of the way of how I was going about pursuing it and getting things done. And he said, I swear to God, Speedy, he said, that's exactly how I did my first film.
Damn.
I said, I'm going to try to raise half the money, go to the studio for the other half.
Yeah.
Because I want them to help with P&A and stuff like that.
Because you need that help on the P&A, which is for all the commercials you see, all the prints you see around town.
But they've done it. I don't want to do something that I haven't done. You know what I mean? Like, they know
you
how to do it.
You want the person that knows how to do that, to do it, because it's important depending on how the film looks, how it like when you shoot it and then you screen it for whoever you're going to screen it for, they'll know exactly how many commercials they need to get done, how hot we need to say this is. I think Rotten Tomatoes has really come a long ways, because now people really look at that and say, okay, what are you on Hot Potato? What is it, Hot Potato?
Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah,
Rotten Tomatoes,
rotten,
hot potato.
Hot potato, rotten potato, potatoes.
It's tomatoes.
Yeah, those two.
You must be hungry.
All right, I'm starving. I'm like, can you get sneakerheads?
Thank you, Shelly.
But
anyway,
but yes.
so you got the script. It's done. Do you have some actors in mind?
Yeah.
Who?
You know what's crazy?
Charlie Rio.
This is going to sound so bad, right? But it's so crazy. I was watching John Wick 3 last night.
Oh, shit.
Because I went to the Governor Awards. I
you
didn't
did?
get to tell you that.
That's what was yesterday.
So-
Because Chris and all those guys was there. I
I
saw the
saw
pictures.
Fox.
Yeah, he
So
just got back in town.
So the crazy thing is this. On Saturday night, I'm randomly at dinner, my buddy Joe and I. And I'm like, I was buying some stuff for the awards, right? Because the Oscar people reached out to me and they said, hey, we want to start incorporating you in the Oscar events. We think you're going to be one of these next big talents.
Oh, shit, that's dope.
And they were like, we need to start going younger. We're missing the younger generation. Shout out to my boy Sean. Much love to you, bro. Thank you for incorporating me and seeing a vision
That's
and
hot.
believing in me. Because I definitely
Yeah, I saw
don't
Chris
belong
Spencer's
being there.
page, and they were all there. Chris.
Well, Jamie hosted it.
Yeah, I know. I guess Fox, because he
was
was
there.
doing the movie. Yeah, Dave Brown was there. He was doing the movie in New Orleans. He was doing some pickups or some reshoots for a movie he's done already in New Orleans. So he just finished that, I think, over the weekend. Got back in town last night, hosted that.
Saturday
because
night.
he's actually
Saturday night, yeah.
maybe up for an Oscar for the movie he's got coming out.
With the one with Michael B. Jordan? Yeah. Shout out to Mike. Shout out to Jamie.
I saw the trailer. I went to go see Black and Blue last night, and that trailer is in there. And it looks fantastic. I don't know if you
I
guys
think it's
seen
going
it.
to do great.
Oh, yeah. I think it's
I mean,
going destroy because it's based on a true story.
I think anything that's why I believe in my movie so much. I think anything that's based on a true story is completely relatable, and I think life is about how well your movie's gonna do is about how much the public can relate to it. And if it's not all imaginary and fiction, then it's very relatable.
Yeah.
So I believe that that's why my movie's gonna do crazy numbers and everything. So the crazy thing is, I run into Fox at dinner at Boa
Yesterday.
Saturday night.
Oh, Saturday night.
And I'm like, yo, what's up, Fox? Like, this and that, he's with Dave. And they're like, oh, what's up? You know, because it's family.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, I was like, I never would, like, come up to you at dinner and bother you, but, like, you're family, so I have to come up to you. Like, I love you, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's never not going to say what's up to family. And I'm like, actually, I'm excited. I'm like, yo, I'm about to go to the Governor Awards tomorrow. I just got invited to this. Like, because I'm like, I don't feel like I have any business being there, but I'm happy they believe in me, but I know I don't have the credentials yet. So I'm just super geeked on it and excited about it and stuff like that. And then next thing I know, I'm at the awards, and he's literally comes up to my table like, yo, what's up, Matt? I'm like, why you didn't tell me you were coming? I just told you last night that I was going to the Governor Awards. And then Dave goes, shh, he's hosting it. That's why he's hosting it. I couldn't tell you. I said, man, are you kidding me? I
wish I'd have known, man. I'd have been there.
Yeah, and I was
doing
like,
shit last.
I
Went to the movies.
I was like, man, I'm so thankful, bro. And I told Jamie, I said, man, thank you for always being so nice and, like, loving towards me. And I was like, it's always been a dream of mine because, you know, I was a little kid, like, being around. And I said,
like, literally the little kid.
I was,
How old are you now?
me now? Dang.
He said me now.
Why is that?
In the 20s.
Yeah, he's still young.
Oh, my son's 20.
But the crazy thing was, like, when you grow up with someone and then you tell them, like you're like, you have aspirations to be a big movie star and to be on TV. And it's one thing to, like, I was telling my friend Joe, it's one thing to be, like, go there and have him bring me, right? But it's another thing to be there on your own merit.
Yeah.
And I said, man, like, I couldn't wait to start being at these events, being with you, hanging out with you here as a peer.
Yeah.
You know,
And now you are.
That's what and he was like, I'm so proud of you. And I'm just like, man, like, it's crazy. And there was so many legends
So
there.
tell the fans again, what's it called?
Jesus Walks.
And you're casting for people now.
Yeah.
So give your information how they can catch up to you if they want to send
So
headshots.
you can go to my Instagram. It's MattCook_. And that's pretty much the only way to get
Matt,
in touch with me.
that's really easy. MattCook_.
Yeah,
Right.
it's just my name. MATT.
So you out there, you got skills, you just found out what to do. This project's going to be fire because he's going to have a lot of important people involved in this
100%,
project.
100%.
So definitely, one more time.
Jesus Walks is the name of the movie I'm about to make. And my name is Matt Cook. And my Instagram is MATTCOOK_.
Matt Cook in the building. Don, you ready? We take a quick break, come right back. We got Sneakerhead. We got, what is it?
Rio Report.
Yeah, something Rio Report, whatever the fuck that is.
What the, why do you
I'm
keep this,
playing,
like,
I'm playing.
Just like when I say little, like you're doing way worse. Way worse.
I was being nice.
I just want to say thank you, though, Speedy,
No,
for,
man.
like, letting
come on.
me
You
come on and
come
talk
back
and everything.
when you casting, when the movie, the premiere, all that. You come on back here and we got you.
Absolutely. I'm
Matt
definitely
in the
gonna come back.
building. Make sure you go to him, man. Y'all want to get on there, but don't go in there if you can't act because we don't want you to embarrass yourself. And
It's all good. We all got to start somewhere.
yeah, you got to start. Somebody got to sweep up. We'll be right
You
back.
might need stand-ins.
I did
You never
extra
know.
work.
Yeah, it might be standing.